Today I'm going to be pushing my DJI Avata 2 to its limits until it's no longer flying. First of all, we're going to be pushing it to its absolute max speed. Now this drone already has some damage to it, which is why I'm doing this test. So before I take off, I'm going to need to manually set my gimbal pitch to about 50 degrees of gimbal tilt, which is way more than I normally fly with. All right, so let's go full send, full throttle, and see what happens. I'm going to go down this way because this is where the wind is coming from. And then we're going to turn it back around and full throttle it. Oh, we already crashed. Let's see if we can save it here. Ooh. Well, that didn't last long. So I thought that was gonna work a lot better than it did. Apparently the drone just doesn't have enough power to pull out at 50 degrees gimbal tilt. Oh, and I lost my shoe in the mud. Guess we'll just put it back on and we'll keep looking for the drone. Turn on the beeper. It should be somewhere over here. See how much damage it took. That did not sound good at all. Yeah, so definitely have some damage here. It broke this particular duct right here and may have further cracked another one. The camera's really dirty, but might still be able to get it to fly and hopefully finish some more tests. All right, here we have drone pilot's best friend, AKA electrical tape. So yeah, we'll just stick this drone back together and then wrap it up with electric tape. And yeah, it looks like all the props can spin freely. So, all right, let's give it a second go, see what happens. There we go, we are in manual mode. This time we're not going to do such an aggressive dive down to start our speed run. That could have given us a little extra speed. But this time we're going to... Oh, come on, don't tell me that we crashed again. Oh, that was not good. This whole video is supposed to go on for a lot longer than this and do a lot more cool stuff before we break the drone. Oh no, this is not good. Camera is totally popped out of the drone. I do not like that. That is not good. Let's see if we can fix it. Yeah, so the camera's not supposed to be there. Okay, so this camera is supposed to be back up in here. Let's see if we can get it back in there. I'm actually really impressed. We dropped this from probably close to 100 feet up, just completely shut off the props and dropped it down. And the only thing that happened is the gimbal popped out. That's actually terrifically impressive. So something really interesting happened. This actually broke the shock mounts for the camera, but it somehow fixed the gimbal. The gimbal had broken on another flight when I ran into a wire and dropped it straight onto concrete, but that is now fixed. Now the gimbal is working fine. So I don't know what happened there. Now we just have broken shock mounts, and that's not as big of a problem. So I used a little bit more electrical tape to do a weird jerry-rigged setup to create some kind of suspension for the camera. And now I'm gonna try again for our speed test. All right, all bandaged up. Let's try again here. Third try. We are going to go here, 245 degrees gimbal tilt. Start to drop in. And then just full throttle. See, I think we only got it to about 40 miles an hour there. Try coming back, see if we can push it any faster. Whew, got about 60. That was a close call. We're gonna go with the wind and just max it out. We are losing altitude here a little bit, but we got 65 miles an hour. You could kind of count that as a dive. Let's just kind of go level here again, and we're getting 60, 61, 64, 63, and maintaining altitude. And we got a cut before we hit these trees. Now, obviously, coming back against the wind, we're only getting about 50. So I thought that was going to be the easiest test to pull off, but as it turns out, we had 2 major crashes and a bunch of damage to the drone just doing that, probably because of trying to max out the speed too close to the ground. Let's move on to the next test. By the way, if you want to learn how to get the most cinematic shots with your drone, whether that's an FPV drone like the Avata or a regular camera drone, I have a completely free 45-minute drone filmmaking training where I share my top 10 secrets to getting cinematic drone shots, covering things like the best settings to use, how to get smooth movements, how to compose your shots, how to edit them, how to color grade them, and a whole bunch more. Again, link to that is down in the description. It's completely free, no strings attached. Now back to the drone destruction. Test number 2 is trying to land my Avata 2 in the back of a van while it's moving. Landing a drone in a moving car is something I've wanted to try for a long time. Oh, this is gonna be really hard to do. And so I think this is the perfect chance to try it out and see what happens. Go, go, go.
15 to 20 miles an hour.
15.
Okay, 12, 15.
Ah, that did not work. Okay, let me stop. Okay, I thought this was gonna be easier. So here's the drone. Looks to be fine. This motor's still attached, so I think we're good to go for another try. We'll see if we can actually get it in this time. It really also makes it hard that I'm flying from inside the car because it's bouncing, so we just need to go a lot slower. The drone is in the air, this time going with a lot less gimbal tilt. I'm gonna catch up and then we'll try to go in after we go around this bend, I think. Or maybe after we get on the straight stretch down there. Oh, this is way hard. Whoa! This is way hard. This is way hard. This is way hard. What was that? I did not expect that though. I thought it was gonna work well. All right, last try here. Hopefully the last try. All right, here we go.
15, 14.
Okay, that's great. Hey, we're flying it right here into the car. But I can't cut the motors though when I'm in GPS mode. But I can fly very precisely into the back of the car. Oh, come on. So here's the drone, let's see. Looks like it's still 99% working fine. So it looks like we totally lost a prop here. So far, even after all of that torture, this drone is still flyable from all I can tell. It's got 2 ducts cracked. One of the motor mounts is cracked and kind of wobbly. The camera mount has broken and the gimbal had actually popped apart and wasn't working, but now popped back together after crash and is working again. But yeah, it can still fly minus this prop right here. So that is actually extremely, extremely impressive if you ask me. So we'll have to replace this prop and see what else we can do with it. Next up is flying at night in the dark, and to make it even more challenging, it's raining a little bit. Now typically you wouldn't be able to fly in complete darkness at all with the Avata 2, but a company called ViFly sent me these lights that I can put on my Avata 2 that should let me fly at night. So let's get all of our lights turned on. First of all, we have this light on the top here. As you can see, that is really, really, really bright. So bright that it basically blinds the camera and blinds me if I turn it on. If I point it at myself, totally blows out the camera. And then included in the kit are also a couple lights here on the bottom of the drone. Oh, and as you can see, they're quite bright too. And those will light up the ground under the drone so that the vision positioning sensors can do their job. And then finally, I have a little flasher on the back. This isn't from ViFly, but it's just to comply with the FAA night strobe requirement. So yeah, let's take this up and fly and see what happens. Very nice. The drone is in the air, goggles are on. Let's go flying. You can see, this is actually pretty incredible. It's almost like you have night vision on your drone. Wow, that is so cool. Obviously it isn't night vision, it has a big light on it, but still, just being able to see in the dark with your drone like this is super cool. Let's see if we can make it around this tree out here. Now it's starting to rain some more again. We get close to the ground and we start to get a little bit blown out. There we go. So you've definitely got to have your camera pointed straight at whatever you want to see, otherwise you're simply not going to see it. Let's see if we can get through these trees here in sport mode. Can literally fly it in the pitch black with this setup. We are going back for some manual mode action. Again, with about 14 degrees gimbal tilt. It's just a little bit nerve-wracking not being able to see what's in front of you, until you get close to it, especially when your feed glitches out. Not sure why it's doing that, if it has something to do with the dark. I'm gonna risk it and see if I can fly right through this tree right here. Boom, ah, that's amazing. Ooh, that tree just about jumped out and bit me. Oh, keep having the feed blocking up, I guess because it's so dark or something. Yeah, I can see this being a whole fun thing. Night FPV with lights on. Again, we're gonna go right here, back inside this tree house. Uh-oh. My strobe just fell off, I'm pretty sure. Let's see something blinking. Oh, there it is, right there. So there's my strobe, lost the strobe, so I will have to go and retrieve that. Hey there, little drone. So yeah, night flying, I would consider that a major success. Again, shout out to Vifly for sending me this light. I will link it down in the description if you want to go flying at night. Next up, I created a world-class FPV obstacle course to push my piloting skills to the limit. And I just may have made it a tiny bit harder than I expected. And I'm nervous. I really am not sure if I can make this, but I'm gonna give it my best go. And here we go. Oh, this is so much worse than I thought it was gonna be. The wind is blowing, that's making it harder. Through the first one, oh, we hit the ground. Okay, back around to the start. Oh, my heart is beating so fast right now. I really wanna make it through. Ah, not going well. This whole thing may have been a bad idea. I was afraid that was gonna happen. Boom, here we go. We're gonna go through this time, 100% sure. Oh, and we crashed again. Try for the third one. And we hit it, and we're still flying. Ah, I got through that one. Now let's see if we can get right under here. Woo, we got it. Oh, and we crashed big time. Whoa, still flying. Wow, that's amazing. Oh no, we hit the camera! Of everything we could have hit, we ran right into the camera, that's funny. Drone is fine, no motors fell off, a little bit of mud. Let's give it another go. This is definitely a target-rich environment for crashing. Oh! Oh no! Well, 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 so after that run, we are fully missing a section of one of the ducts. This drone is incredibly tough. We're on 10% battery. See if we can maybe. Whoa, we did it! All the way through that tiniest gap. I cannot believe it. I did not get it in sequence, but I did manage to hit that. Now the last one to beat is that cage. Here we go, right on through. Oh, we did it and we kept flying. I can't believe I got that one too. Wow. All you freestyle pros are probably out there like laughing at me, like that's so easy. But yeah guys, I'm a cinema pilot, not a freestyle pilot. Let's see if we can go through this direction. Let's go, oh no, we can't. Oops. So after crashing the Avata roughly 1 million times, it was time to move on to the test that was most likely to end my drone's career. The fearsome water resistance test. Somewhat battle damaged drone going into this. We'll see what will happen. And here we go, right through the water. You can barely even see the spray from this angle. Woo, right through. Oh, that didn't do anything. All I have is a couple droplets on my lens. Gonna try going back through the other way. Again, nothing. Drone is just fine. So probably if you're just flying through a little bit of water spray like this, your drone is going to be just fine and dandy. Now we are going like really slow through it, which if anything should make it worse. But yeah, no problems at all. Here we go again. This time with 15 degrees gimbal tilt. Oh, whoa, whoa. So I ended up crashing right where the water was spraying, and by the time I got it, the whole drone is just totally soaking wet now. But if we look in the goggles here, no errors, no issues. So it's still kicking. So let's keep going, see what happens. So it looks like in all likelihood, as long as you're just getting a fairly light spray of water on the drone or a little bit of rain, you are probably going to be fine. Now, to be clear, it's not recommended to fly it through water, but it looks like it is likely to survive if you do accidentally happen to get it wet. Let's see if we can get it right through here. Boom! Yeah, the drone doesn't even care. Oh, don't tell me I just crashed again. And looks like after that we have a battery cell error. So it looks like some water must have gotten somewhere where it wasn't supposed to. Let's see if it'll still fly. Flip it into manual mode, which should give us the best chances of going somewhere. And nope, motors won't start. And let's pull the battery out of here and see. Oh yeah, there's definitely some water here on the battery. That's not good. We'll definitely have to make sure to dry the battery out. So yeah, don't fly your Avata 2 through too much water because eventually it will quit flying. And for good measure and a good thumbnail, I even took a garden hose and directly doused the Avata. So after the water test, I let the Avata and the battery dry out for a few hours in the sun. And after that, I popped the same battery back in, turned it on, and there were no errors and it flew just fine. So as it turns out, I hadn't entirely done in the Avata just yet. So I took it out for another half a dozen or so flights and just pushed my FPV skills to their limits, trying to get as good as I could with the drone while it was half broken and needed to be repaired anyway, and crashed it a whole bunch of times, and it just kept on going. Now we've got 2 ducts fully broken, but the last straw came when I ran for the umpteenth time into the top of a tree, and it finally broke this motor right here, which had already been cracked for a while and was just reinforced with a little bit of electrical tape. And when that motor broke off, it just went into a tumble and landed in the water. I could see that it was underwater in my goggles, but I couldn't figure out exactly where it was. I thought that it was in the creek on one side of the road, but I marched up and down the creek looking through my goggles, waving a stick over the creek, trying to see something in the goggles to get an idea of where it was, and I just couldn't find it until I realized it actually wasn't in the creek. It was in a pool of water on the other side of the road. So I was able to retrieve it to get it repaired, but the amazing thing is that it was sitting underwater for all of 10 minutes until I found it and pulled it out. And through that entire time, it kept working, stayed connected to the goggles, and kept sending a video feed, which actually helped me a lot in finding it. And of course, it was throwing all kinds of errors and everything else, but it didn't entirely shut off, which is what I would have expected being completely submerged in water. So I've got to say, extremely impressive how tough the Avata is. I don't think I've ever seen another drone quite this tough. And if you want to learn how to get better shots with your Avata 2, you can click right here to watch a video on that. Make sure to check out my free drone filmmaking training. And if you want to go even deeper, I have an entire 12-hour drone filmmaking course where I share my entire process start to finish for creating cinematic drone videos. Link to that is in the description as well. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you in the next video.